anyone to get a point across or a truth across. Learn to eat the meat and spit out the bones. For those who are weak, they need to stick with only the word, but for those who are strong, they rightly discern my word, even when the vessel is not perfect. Judge things according to my word and my spirit of love. Okay. I love it when you spend time with me. You could be so busy working and doing things, but don't forget to spend time with me. Even time in ministry and listening to other preachers can steal away time with me. Take time out of your busy day and spend it with me. Turn off the computer and TV. Listen to my still small voice. I want to speak life to you and nourish you with my words. I love you, Jesus. October 6, 2016. My child, do not be discouraged when others do not like you or reject you. Not everyone is going to like you. You are in good company when you are rejected. I too was rejected by others. Rejection comes for the word's sake and for who you are in me. Do not be ashamed of me and my word. The spirits know who you are, even if you don't say who you are. A lot of the rejection is the spirits and them rejecting who I am. Don't be discouraged. Don't be discouraged when you are greatly. Don't be discouraged. You're greatly loved by me. Okay, think on good things. That's December 21st, 2016. My child, think on good things, not bad things. Do not seek revenge or those who do you wrong or your family wrong. When bad thoughts come your way, do your best to think on positive things. Self-defense is stopping evil without doing evil. Now, you know, there might be times when you have to use violence, but you try not to cause a lot of injury. You only inflict enough pain to make someone stop hurting you, but you don't use all your force to hurt them. It's only enough pain to make them stop so you can get away from them to a much safer place, but you try your best not to have to hurt someone who's hurting you. And finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think on such things. So we try to think good thoughts. Even when people seek revenge on us, we still try to think good thoughts. But, you know, and we pray for those. When we get a bad thought about someone, we just pray for them. When you have angry thoughts towards someone, just pray for them. And that can change that around to where you can think good thoughts and love them. January 23rd, 2017. Renew your mind to my words by reading and studying my word. Review what I already said to you. Refresh what I already said to you. I love you and I am always with you. Now, it's good to keep a journal and write down what you feel in your heart God is saying to you. God speaks through His word. God backs His word. He tells you to do loving things to people. He don't tell you to go around hurting people or getting revenge on people or hurting yourself. He'll tell you, like some of the words I shared with you, to love, forgive. I mean, revenge that I mentioned here, not revenge, but self-defense. He doesn't want you to get revenge on people. But self-defense is stopping someone from doing evil to you or a loved one without using violence back. But if you have to, you use just enough pain to make them stop hurting you enough to get away from them. You don't like use all your anger and force and revenge to pay them back when they're hurting you. You try not to inflict pain on them. You try to get away from them. But if you can't and you have to use violence, you use just enough to make them stop hurting you so that you can get away from it. There's a difference. I mean, once they're done hurting you and they flee and you start to chase after them and try to really hurt them, then that's revenge, and revenge is God. Okay, self-defense is just trying to stop them or get away from them to prevent them from hurting you. Okay, so Give me this day. This is March 20th, 17. My child, give me this day. I promise to lead and guide you. I will lead you to the path that you need to go. Just follow my lead. Look to be a blessing today for someone. I love you. Okay, I don't know what date this one is, but I'll just read it. Don't make major decisions in your life until you seek me first and hear from me. Leave things as they are until you hear from me. Rush decisions are not from me. When you don't have time to pray and seek godly counsel, then wait on me. Don't make the final decision until you hear from me. So sometimes, we get rushed in making decisions, and if we don't have time to pray and seek godly counsel and seek God's word, we can make wrong decisions. So it's important to always pray and seek the Lord before you make a big decision in your life. I mean, that's not talking about what you like to eat for breakfast or what you want to wear today. This is talking about like getting married, moving, buying a car, those type of decisions. When it comes to big decisions like that, like moving, getting married, buying a car, buying a house, we need to or getting a job, those are big decisions we need to seek the Lord on. I mean, as far as what color shirt you want to wear in the morning, you can make those kind of decisions yourself. Or what you want to eat for breakfast, unless you're really eating a lot of junk food and God's really convicting you of the junk food you're eating and He wants you to eat healthy. We pretty much can decide what we want to eat and where and that kind of stuff. Now I'm going to get into false prophets. I said later on in my one video that I would speak more deeply in this. And this is something the Lord gave me, and this is also through my own experience with prophets and false prophets. False prophets speak from their own dreams and visions. They do not speak from me. You will know them by their fruits. They will be quick to defend themselves. A true prophet encourages others to seek the Lord for themselves and to seek the Lord if their word is true. They are quick to repent when they are wrong, or if you think they are wrong, they will encourage you to pray and seek God concerning their word. They will teach you how to hear from God and not depend on them. A false prophet will get offended easily when you question that word. They will be quick to get offended and will even curse you for correcting them. Their curse isn't curse words like, the 4-letter words, but is a type of spell. They will try to speak on you. This is a clear sign they are not of me. And I like to share with that. Years ago, I was at this prophetic board called Open Heaven, and this lady, Linda Newkirk, someone posted her prophecy on the Gulf oil spill, how that was from God. And I went to her website and found that her fruit pretty much sucked. It wasn't really the fruit of the Spirit. She had curses on her board that if you disagree with her, you would be cursed by God. That's not God. God doesn't go around cursing people. God's a God of love. And, I mean, we can bring curses on ourselves when we disobey God, but God's not going to curse you because you doubted. You're testing a prophet. Jesus says to test false prophets, or to test the prophets. 1 John 4 tells you to test the spirits because there are false prophets. So the Bible tells us to test prophets to know that they're of God. But this lady was like, if you speak anything bad about me, God's going to curse you. Okay, that's not God. That's not the Spirit of God speaking through that lady. That's the same as witchcraft. A true prophet puts me first. This is the Lord speaking, not myself. Me means God. He's speaking through this message. A true prophet puts me first, is all about me and not them. They will turn the other cheek and not be quick to defend themselves. They will bless you even when you curse them. They will encourage you to pray about the word they give you, but a false prophet will demand you listen to them because they are a prophet and can never be wrong. A true prophet is open to being wrong. This is how you know a true prophet from a false prophet. Now, I shared this story last night, but I'm going to share it again. I ran into a woman. Everybody was saying this lady was accurate. She's never wrong. She's a true prophetess of God. And I went on my other Facebook account and friended her with my middle name and maiden last name. And she basically said, do you know who Pamela Suzette is? Yes, I know who Pamela Suzette is. Do you know who Howard Moran is? Yes, I know who Howard Moran is. Do you know who I am? Yes. Do you know I'm never wrong? And then she said, the Lord told me you're Howard Moran. And she debated my gender with me, called me a liar and a deceiver. And I told her, you are not on the God channel tonight, lady, because I am a woman and I'm not Howard Moran. So she had the attitude, I'm never wrong, you know. And when I told her I was testing her gift to know if she's a true prophet or not, she goes, well, that's not how you test a prophet. I don't know, maybe that's not how you should, but that's how I did that night. And I proved her to be false. I proved that she can make mistakes and she can be wrong. And everyone's like, oh, she gives such accurate words. So you really have to test the spirits. I'm not saying that a true prophet God can't make a mistake, but if they're truly humble, they'll say, hey, you know, I have a prophetic gift, but I can't miss it. I'm learning how to hear from God, but I can miss it and not hear from God and think I'm hearing from God. So please test what I say to you. Pray and seek God that what I'm saying to you is from Him. That's what a true prophet would do. Not, I'm right and I never can be wrong. Okay. Be careful. Okay, I'm going to skip this one. That one was to be careful of the sex vampires in your life. I don't know if I should read that. Maybe I should. There are many sex vampires out there to prey on women. They do not care about the woman. They only care about themselves. They get an energy from having sex. Yes, sex feels good to them, but they get empowered by sex and to control someone else's body. They are not gentlemen in bed, but they're like a lion over their prey. They talk to unmarried women dirty and in marriage control their women. They are like wolves in sheep clothing. For a short time they act sweet to woo you in bed. If you don't give them what they want, they become violent and threatening. In marriages, they are worse at being demanding. Stay clear away from these kind of men. You know them by their charm. They think they are God's gift to women. The humble man is the one you want, not the guy showing off his muscles who he is always a flirt. The humble man is the one you want, not the sex vampire who tries to charm the ladies. In the end, his bite is bitter. It isn't about the fangs as his speech and being pushy to have sex with you. It's his fangs. And then I had Psalm 57:4. I'm in the midst of lions, lie among ravens beasts. Okay, so there's this thing called energy vampires or psi vampires. They are people that feed on your energy. And a lot of them also feed on sexual energy. And you have to really watch out for these type of people. Years and years ago, I was ministering to a lady that had a lot of mental illness. And every time I would get on the phone with her, I would feel so drained of my energy. And I thought it was because I just had a baby. And so I got talking to a pastor who knew this girl, who spent a lot of time in ministry with this girl, and she had some demonic issues. And he tried to help her and cast out these spirits out of her. And he told me how he would feel so drained ministering to her. And he said, you need to limit her to one phone call a week, because if you don't, she'll drain you. And when I listened to him and limited her to one phone call a week, I stopped feeling drained and tired. So there are all these energy vampires, psi vamps, that will drain you of their energy, of your energy. If you're spending a lot of time trying to help someone and you're ministering to them and you feel exhausted and drained after talking to them, they're an energy vampire, a psi vampire, and you need to cut yourself off of that person and just pray for them. I mean, unless God really leads you to minister to them, you really need to be prayed up and put up a shield to protect yourself from that person. And there's these sex vampires that they prey and feed on sex, and they drain their victims, their energy. So be careful of those type of people. Okay, I'm able to meet your needs. This is May 4th, 2017. My precious child, I'm able to meet your needs, and I do not lack at anything. Look back through your life and see how um, I've cared for you. So that's another good word. Rebuke people's negative words over your life. Words can be curses or blessings. This is May 8th, 2017. Even family and close friends can mean well, but be the devil's mouthpiece. Look for my words that flow from people's mouth and refuse to believe the devil's words that flow from people's mouth. People are either speaking my word or Satan's word. Rebuke all negative words from people, including yourself. Stay positive and speak positive over yourself and others. Okay, May 13th, 2017. I'm writing the pages of your life. Trust me to write the pages of your life. When things don't go as you plan, know that I have your best interest at heart. I have good plans for you, plans not to harm you, but give you a future. So, even in the midst of a trial, do not fear, for even in the trial, my plan is to grow you and mature you. Without the trial, you would trust in your own strength and not mine. In trials, you learn to trust in me. That's Jeremiah 29:11 and James 1 and 2. My child, transition is never easy, but in the end, it leads to a better life. This is May 14th, 2017. There's always discomfort in a transition. Look at pregnancy, for example. Pregnancy is uncomfortable and in the end a lot of pain. And the transition of going from pregnant to holding a newborn in your arms. In the end, the pain becomes joy. You can't see the big picture, only the circumstances, but later you will understand why things happen the way they did. When a room is being cleaned up, things get messy to neat and nice. Even when a house is being restored or renovated and repaired, it goes from very messy and unorganized to neat, clean, beautiful, and order. You are being tested in your faith if you will trust me or not. Don't lose faith. Things will seem hard at first, but become a lot easy. Go with the flow. Don't fight the flow. You are at... Okay, so now we're going into more of a personal word here, so I have to stop. Okay, but you know, we all go through our trials and hard times, and we can grow through hardship if we put our faith in the Lord and not give up in our faith in Him. Okay, May 15th, 2017. I'm a big God. I'm a big God, and I am bigger than your problems. The God who created everything can fix your problems. So do not fear when you have money problems, health problems, relationship problems. Come to me and give your problems to me, and Daddy will fix those problems. Keep your focus on me and not the problem. When you find yourself focusing on the problem, repent and focus on me. Watch your words. You have what you say. Stay positive, think positive, and talk positive. It will all work out, but you must put your hope in me and stay focused on the Spirit. Okay, for the air, test words as the tongue tastes food. Job 34:3. Taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the man who takes refuge in Him. Psalm 34:8-10. This is how you taste me, by hearing my words. Faith comes by hearing my words, whether written or spoken. This is why it is important to read my word out loud, because it is by hearing that faith comes. You will know someone by their fruit, by their words and actions. Life and death are in the power of the tongue, and you will eat the fruit of what your lips speak. Watch what you say. Be careful what you hear. You have what you say. Okay, now this is from Joyce Myers. Don't live the life of the flesh by catering to appetites and impulses of your carnal nature. My child, it is okay to take care of your body. It is important to eat well, sleep well, get exercise, and not to do harmful things to hurt your body. To please the flesh means to please your sinful nature, like giving in to sex and other sinful addictions. That is not good for your body and displeasing to the Lord. Choose to please me above everything else. Sometimes fixing your own problems can lead to sin. Always seek me for answers and godly counsel. Your own head can lead to being outside my will. Seek my word and godly counsel before making a decision. Okay, here is May 24th, 2017. The most important thing is time with me. You can lose everything and have me and be rich in spirit. You can gain the whole world and lose your soul. I know you need your needs and wants, and if you put me first, I will take care of you. You aren't called to be rich in this world. You are called to be rich in me. Put me first, and I will give you what you need to live in this world. Everything happens for a reason and in season. This is May 21st, 2017. It is hard to see the reason for the season, but when you are seasoned for going through this season that you're going through, you will see the reason for this season. There is a reason for this season that you are going through, and you will grow in this season. You may feel like it is hell, but it is a pruning season, and no pruning feels good. But in the end, you will bear much fruit for me. Go with the flow, don't fight it. It will be harder if you fight against the flow, but if you go with the flow of things dropping off of your life, you will prosper in the end. It will be rough and tough for a season, but in the end you will find a peaceful calm from the storm. There will be sunshine again in a place of rest. Don't lose faith in this season of storms. Don't give up on me. Be careful of temptations because it could seem good, but in the end bad. Test everything with my word. Okay, so that some of this was a personal word for me, but I'm just sharing bits and parts of this. So I'm going to end this video because a lot of the prophetic words in my book here, a lot of them at the very end of this book gets too personal. And they're just specifically for me. So I try to share words that are for me personally, but also can be for you personally. And I hope that my words bless you, and I encourage you to buy yourself one of these. It don't have to have kitty cats on it, but and start journaling. And if you have trouble hearing from God, just do scriptures. Like when you do your devotions, if something jumps out at you, then write it down. And then, you could paraphrase what that means to you. That's one way you can do it. If you're not gifted with prophetic words, and you're afraid to do these prophetic words, then I encourage you to just do scriptures. And you can jot down a prayer that you say to the Lord. Let's say, for example, it's snowing outside and you're scared to drive to work. You can write down your prayer, Jesus, help me get to work safe tonight. And then let's say you go to work and you come home and you got there safe and you got back safe, then you can write down a testimony. I made it to work okay and I made it back okay. And that can be a very encouraging thing to do too. So even if you don't have the gift of prophecy, you can use scriptures and prayers, and you can write down your answered prayers and stuff. And then as you go back and read these, you can see how God has moved. And you can even write to yourself if you don't know how to prophesy. You could say, that I'll just use me for example. So let's say, it's going to snowstorm and I have to go to work, and I'm at this job where they're strict about call-offs, and I'm really scared about driving in the snow. And I could say, Jesus, help me get to work safe and back safe. So let's say I'm done with my shift. I made it back okay. Then maybe the next time I have another situation like that, I could say my little prayer, help me get there safe, help me get back. But I could say, Pam, you've been through this storm before and you got there safe and back again, and God will help you again. And let's say I get back safe again from that other storm, that new storm. Well, then I just, in a sense, prophesy to myself, Pam, you know God's going to get you through this. So you can even write to yourself and just encourage yourself. I mean, just think about what you would say to a friend if they were scared to drive in the snow or whatever you're going through. Maybe it's surgery or whatever. Just think like you're ministering to another friend. You know, God's going to get you through this surgery. You can write that to yourself. Well, Pam, God's going to help you through this. And as you go back later on and read it, you'll see how God has moved in your life. So I hope my words have inspired you, encouraged you, and thank you for watching my video.